Hello and welcome to For Heaven's Sake, a Seventh Heaven podcast. We are your co-hosts, Lady J.
And T.
How are you, T?
I'm cold. How are you?
I'm good. I'm slightly warmer than you, but not by much.
Lucky you. Well,
I don't know. I have the benefit of having been indoors all day. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Home stretch, baby.
I can't believe it.
This is episode 1020, titled And More Secrets.
Great.
Which I have a problem with because it should have been called You Bring Out the Best in Me or Best of Me or something like that. Like, And More Secrets is just a bullshit way of saying this is a continuation of the last episode.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Well, it's a cop-out and they know it. You like know it, Brenda Hampton, you silly bitch.
I mean, does she though? I don't
know anymore. I don't know. The Amazon Prime spoiler for this episode is Rose and Simon reconsider their marriage. Which I feel like they've been doing that on and off for the last 5 episodes.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't news. They keep waffling about whether or not they're going to get married.
Exactly. It's
really annoying.
Let's call the whole thing off.
That should be the song. Oh, yeah. Ruthie makes that joke. Duh. So, yeah, this episode. Oof. And, I mean, when we say that it's essentially a continuation of the last episode, we're not wrong. Like, that's really what it is. We open with Eric trying to... I want to use the word intimidate Ruthie.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's like flat out intimidation.
He's intimidating her and he's holding a grudge.
Totally. And it's almost like he's holding it on behalf of Annie.
Yeah.
Because really, he's just scared about his own ass being on the line because of the secret that he told the twins.
Yeah.
And like trying to put it all on Ruthie. Like now she's got to bear the brunt of the fact that she kept Matt and Sarah's secret all this time.
Yeah.
Like, really, dude? And so he's freaking out. And then Ruthie's like, well, if you really want to get mom off your back, why don't you do something for her that she'll never be able to get mad at you ever again about or whatever. Yeah. And she tells him, you know, find a way to break up Simon and Rose.
Yeah.
Which here we are again. Like literally it's like 2 episodes ago where Annie was spent every minute of that whole episode doing that.
Yeah.
Or was that the last episode? It's hard to tell anymore.
Pretty much. But I couldn't get over the comment that Ruthie said, well, you can get mom's best friend to call off the wedding. I'm like, who the fuck is mom's best friend? I was like, oh yeah, Rose.
Ruthie says something like, I know that Rose is nice now and she's like mom's best friend, but like, let's face it, none of us want them to get married or something like that, where you're just like, damn, Ruthie.
Yeah.
So... And Eric gets that like twinkle in his eye. It's that whole like zoom in, fade out thing of like, oh, that's an idea. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it is an idea.
Yeah, dude, it's been the only idea. Like, hello. I just don't understand. I don't understand what the end game for the show is here. Like, you have 3 episodes left in your series. So you thought?
Yeah.
And you're still playing the game of will they or won't they? Can we just know so we can finish the series on a high note?
Like, I guess.
What is happening here? It's so insane to me that up until this very last minute, which, you know, three episodes in television time is not necessarily the last minute or whatever, but like up until this minute, you're still... Like everyone's still on the hook of like what's gonna happen. Yeah. Like
it's weird. When you and we were talking about how we wanted this to end before Rose got nice, and you know,
before she became a whole completely different person.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we wanted that dramatic blowout. We wanted Simon to be like, "Fuck you, bitch." Never would he say those words, especially on Seventh Heaven. But still,
especially,
yeah. But you wanted that kind of reaction. Like it would have just been so satisfying, that kind of drama. And with seeing whatever goes down between Rose and Simon towards the end of this episode, I was like, wow, Brenda, you have created such a disgusting relationship in the beginning, and now you are trying to make sure that this ends or continues between these two in a healthy way.
Yeah.
And I'm
Except
like,
it's a
life doesn't work this way.
It's a festering wound of a relationship that they have right now.
There's a lot of like unspoken shit from before. Like all the conversations. Like I didn't expect
never
him to buy,
happened. Yeah.
I didn't expect him to buy me the ring. Or it's not like I forced him. No, bitch, you did though.
And also, here's my biggest gripe with this whole bullshit fight of theirs at the end of this episode. I feel like we're getting ahead, but who gives a fuck? Like, the whole bullshit part about this whole fight they have is, yes, the twins did say he blames you, bitch.
Yes.
Yes, they did. This shouldn't be news to you.
Oh, I don't know why that was shocking all over again for her.
I swear to God, when he says those words, I was like, damn, okay, like, I get you, Simon. Like, yes, you said it in the heat of the moment, whatever. And then she's all shocked. And I'm like, shocked about what? The twins verbatim said to her, Simon's taking incompletes and he blames you.
Yeah, and he blames you.
Verbatim.
So that's why I was really perplexed too. Like, wait, why are you confused when he uses the word resentful?
I know. It's like bonkers level, like,
is it because they use a different word? I don't get it.
Okay, but so here's the thing about television 20 years ago or 10 years ago is like, some certain things you can forgive because of the thing of like, well, it was a week ago, people watched that episode, and it was before TiVo and shit. So like, there was a certain level of like rewriting history that could be done where the audience wouldn't pick up on it because nobody was binging television like we do today.
True.
There, to a degree.
Yeah.
This is such an egregious level of that where you're like, dude, but like it was such a big deal at the end of the last episode where the twins told her that he's taking incompletes and he blames you. Like, how could you just skate over that whole thing? Like, it's so... I don't know what she was thinking, Brenda, that is.
Yeah, I
don't know.
It makes you wonder, though, or I kind of wish I knew what the zeitgeist was when it comes to Seventh Heaven at the time. Like, I'm sure that there were some fanatics going, wait a minute, though.
She should have known.
Yeah. Right? I mean, you may forget things, but that was a big thing for her to hear.
And especially, and we know she heard it too, because when she walks out of there, because Eric comes in and it's all awkward, she's like, and don't forget, not everything's my fault, bye.
Yeah.
Like, which means she heard it. Like, it's just,
I don't know why. I don't know why.
So infuriating sometimes. The treatment of Rose this whole season is so infuriating.
Yeah.
Like, I can't grasp it. Like, I can't understand what I'm supposed to think or feel or believe or anything anymore.
I don't know, but I will say at least we saw her arguing and still saw some of that crazy of her peppered in.
Dude, okay, when she's talking to Lucy, right, and it all comes, and she comes clean essentially because now she knows that Lucy and Kevin were going to give them cash for their wedding. And so she calls to say, hey, so can we get that early? Because like Simon's been working too hard and whatever. And so anyway, so she's talking to Lucy about all this.
I can't believe I made him get me that ring. I feel terrible.
You do?
Of course I do.
You didn't seem to feel terrible for the past 6 months.
I never thought he'd actually buy this ring for me, to tell you the truth. And when he did, well, I do love the ring. But of course, I love Simon more. And if I could take this ring back, I still probably wouldn't, but I still feel badly that Simon buying it has caused so many problems.
What?
Yeah.
Like, talk about the crazy still showing? Like, you are just the worst.
Yeah. It's still there.
If I could take it back, well, I mean, I wouldn't. But, like, I still feel bad. Like, ugh.
Well, that's just an empty bullshit promise and excuse right there.
Yeah. How can you feel bad and yet you wouldn't do anything about it?
Exactly.
Like, you were a garbage person. That's why. Also, I've been letting it go for like 3 seasons now because I haven't brought it up since 3 seasons ago. But can we just agree? Can we all as a society agree that you don't feel badly about anything?
Every time the show says badly,
Which is every time. I've never once heard them say it correctly. And that's across the board. Every single one of them says, I feel badly.
and every time it happens, I'm always expecting you to bring it up, but you don't.
And I don't, because I've been good, because I've held my tongue. But here we are near the end, baby. And I'm not going to hold my tongue anymore. Yes, you feel badly. You know why, Rose? Because you're a garbage person who doesn't know how to feel anything. So yes, you are bad at feeling. Yes, Rose, you are bad at it.
I wonder how
God
many
damn
times,
it.
I wonder how many times we'll hear badly in season 11.
We've heard it like literally no less than 1,000,000 times since day one of season 1. Like,
Yeah.
they say it all the goddamn time. It's the most frustrating. It's like probably my biggest pet peeve of all time.
So good.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
I know.
And it's you know what it is? It's an epidemic. Everybody talks like that. Even today in 2019, people say that. I feel so badly. Do you?
Yeah.
Clearly. Like, oh, I hate it. Sorry. Okay, that's enough. Ugh. I'm off my soapbox now. But anyway, so she's having this conversation with Lucy, and Lucy tells her, like, okay, so yes, we can give you the money now, whatever. But more importantly, you need to tell Simon that you know, and hopefully, like, he can still get his shit together. Just like we were saying in the last episode, like, tell him now, get this out in the open now, so that he can still maybe save himself and like, you know, study, take some finals, whatever, you know? And so Lucy's like, tell him. And she's like, I don't want to tell him because then he's just going to be mad at the twins. And I'm like, what are you worried about that for? This is your husband here who's thinking about dropping out of college, essentially. Like, get your head out of your ass, Rose. Like, so he'll be mad at the twins for a minute. Who gives a shit? Like, oh my God, she's so dumb.
She just doesn't have, like, you know, being a good person down yet.
That's essentially it too. Because then she's like, can't you just give us the money and then no one has to know? And Lucy's like, do you really want to start your marriage off with like lies and deceit? Like, tell him the fucking truth, dude. And she's like, no, you're right. Okay, thanks for the teapot. Bye. Like, ugh. I'm just so over it. I'm
tired of hearing that Stepford wife way of speaking. She does it, like the way she carries herself and looking all doe-eyed. Like, she looks at you like, well, I didn't know that Simon was, you know, taking incomplete classes. You know, I didn't force him to buy me that ring.
You like, bitch, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did though.
Yeah.
I want to play the fight they have.
Okay.
Sam and David told me about the incompletes.
They told you too?
Yeah, and I told Lucy, and I think maybe she told your dad. And your mom. Maybe.
Why would you tell Lucy?
Because Sam and David told me something else.
They just don't always get their facts right, you know? I really don't resent taking incompletes to work to pay for your ring. I don't. I was just tired when I talked to them. David and Sam did say that to you, right?
No. I'm sorry if you resent paying for my ring. I know I shouldn't have asked for it, but you didn't have to buy it if you didn't want to buy it.
Well, that's where you're wrong. I did have to buy it. I had to buy it to make up for asking you to move out when I didn't ask you to move in the first place.
Well, you really are feeling resentful, aren't you?
Yeah, actually I am.
Yeah, I can actually see that you are. And if you're just going to be resentful that I made you marry me, then let's just not get married, okay?
Okay. Great. Go back to Umberto. It's what you really want, isn't it?
What?
I'm sure Umberto can afford a ring without having to work for it day and night. He can get you everything you want.
I thought you could give me everything that I want, Simon. Because all that I really want is for someone to love me.
It's just, there's a lot of problems with this argument for me personally. Like, as I'm listening to it, I'm like, I'm not a psychologist. I am not a therapist. I don't, but there's a healthy way of arguing. And she is right. Simon didn't have to buy it for her, but Simon is weak to you. And we know this.
Do you mean like she sees Simon as a weak person?
I don't know if she sees Simon as a weak person.
Oh, you're saying like
In
Simon
general.
has a weakness that is Rose.
Oh, yeah.
Got it.
And so you kind of, in so many words, the way she forced the situation to happen, she put him in like between a rock and a hard place. Either we're not going to be together anymore, or I get an engagement ring, or if we're not going to be engaged, then I move in. It was threats upon threats upon threats. And she should be held accountable for that.
And then she throws it in his face like it's his fault for not loving her. And it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, every decision he's made and everything he's done has been to prove to you that he does love you.
Yeah.
Because you've given him ultimatum upon ultimatum.
Yeah.
And now you're like, you're all I ever wanted. Like, you're enough for me? Really, dude? Is that really what's happening here, Rose? They're both just hot fucking messes.
Yeah,
dude.
this is a girl that truly hasn't grown up emotionally, doesn't have the
At
emotional
all.
intelligence to figure out what it is that she wants and needs.
At all. And you know what though? You bring up a good point because like she is stunted emotionally. She's very stunted because the only boyfriend she ever had all through high school was Umberto. And then they were all like on the marriage track at 18 or whatever.
Crazy.
And she traveled to Italy to be with his family and shit, whatever.
Yeah.
So she's only ever known like immature love like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it ended essentially in a way that was like heartbreaking for her from everything we've understood based on 2 episodes worth of information.
Yeah.
Like it was heartbreaking for her. And so that like stunted her ability to like function in a mature, real romantic relationship with someone. She clearly doesn't know how to do it.
She does. Well, her parents, one, were the first
I
ones that
know.
fucked it up for
That's
her.
absolutely true.
And with Umberto, she held on tight. And she's doing the exact same thing with Simon. And she played up this fairy tale of what this life is supposed to be like.
And she says the words, I just wanted someone to love me.
Yeah.
And she's not even saying, I just wanted you to love me. I just wanted someone to love me, which tells you everything you need to know about like her state of mind and like where she's coming from and how damaged she is.
Poor girl has lacked it.
I'm not, and I'm not saying that it's necessarily like, I don't know that it's, what's the word I'm trying to say? Like, I don't want to believe that she's like maliciously trying to back Simon into a corner and like be the villain of her own story or whatever.
I can't see that
But
anymore.
she is the villain
Yeah.
because she can't help herself. You know what I mean? And she can't even see that she's the villain, which makes it even sadder. You know what I mean? Like, God damn it, Rose. This might be the most cogent I've ever been able to like speak about her in a way that's like meaningful instead of just being like, I fucking hate her.
Because all we would see was nasty things that she would do.
We never really broke down her psychology until 2 episodes ago when she told Annie everything.
Because we didn't even have the
We didn't know.
opportunity.
Yeah, we didn't know.
As the audience, all we've been able to see is someone that we can't stand. And honestly, fuck you, Brenda.
I know
for
it's her
doing
fault.
That.
It's
You
Brenda's
twisted it.
fault for giving us a shit character, not explaining her motivation whatsoever,
No.
leaving us to think, okay, well, she's a shitty character, and then all of a sudden giving us her motivations, which like with 4 episodes left in the season, like or the series of all things, like sorry, not sorry. It's like too little, too late, man.
Yeah,
Like,
she always wants. I feel like with Brenda, she wants things to end well and on a healthy note. In reality, we always want things to end on a healthy note. Everybody wants to walk away from something unscathed. But when you have created that kind of drama, and for these teen audiences or family audiences, which are, don't get me wrong, we were loving hating on Rose. I was.
it was fun because for the first
fun.
time there was like a real villain on the show.
Exactly. So it was fun.
Yeah.
But then now I have to care, or I'm supposed to care, and things will end on a clean note. I know it has to. It's Brenda Hampton.
Yeah.
That's the only that's her formula.
Yeah, clean in the sense that either they'll be together or they won't be.
Yeah, but it's still gonna be well. Still gonna go well.
Everyone's gonna and they've already laid that seed because already like Annie loves Rose.
Exactly.
Great, whatever.
Exactly.
Oh, such a
Maybe she'll
nightmare.
end up with Umberto. Things got complicated. Like, really, Annie? It got complicated real quick in your head real fast.
I know. So then, so she gives him back the ring and like walks away from that.
Yeah.
And
I wonder how heavy that ring was. It looked big, dude. When she hands it back,
big
I was
ring. I wonder if it's real.
I don't know.
I can't tell jewelry. Like I don't know anything about jewelry.
Well,
I feel like it probably was, right?
dude, a college student to buy a one.
That's what I'm saying. Like he. Anyway, I don't know. That's enough of that.
Yeah.
Oof. Okay, so Is that all that happens with them? Yeah. Oh, well, okay. And then Kevin goes up there to visit him.
Oh, what did you think of this conversation between Kevin and Simon?
If you're trying to bait me into having a feminist conversation right now,
It won't take much.
no, I was going to say it's not going to work, T. Because I really had to like bite my tongue. I'll say this because I prepared. I pre-wrote my thoughts, and I'll just read them to you.
Oh, I like it.
Because I didn't want to have to go on this whole rant because I knew I'd be like incoherent and emotional about it. So he calls. So just to set the scene a little bit, Kevin recognizes that Simon needs a little bit of like tough but love right now, some like love but tough love. So he goes up there, they like gorge themselves on junk food, and they're talking, and Simon is like venting to Kevin about Rose and the fight they've had and stuff. And Kevin says to him, like, women aren't just moody, they are moods. And they go through all of them in a day and whatever. And Simon's like, so I'm just supposed to like go with it? I'm held accountable for everything that I say. Why shouldn't I be holding her accountable for what she says? And then Kevin's like, life isn't fair, dude. Like, get over it, whatever.
Basically, yeah.
So the thing that I obviously... I'm going to have something to say about women aren't just moody, they are moods.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Kevin.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Brenda Hampton, for even writing that story.
Thank you.
Because it didn't have to be about that. It could have just been Kevin comes up there, Simon vents about the fight he's just had with Rose, and Kevin's like, bro, grow a pair and man up and make a decision. Are you going to be with her or not? Do you love her? Marry her. If you don't marry her.
That's what...
Sack up, dude.
That's what the conversation needed to be.
That's all it needed to be. It didn't need to be about how women are this and women aren't this and men are that and men aren't this.
Yeah.
But that being said, okay, since she took it there...
Yeah.
Women are not moods, okay? We just haven't had moods beat the fuck out of us by society, okay, men? Mm-hmm. And so when we show them, the patriarchy is like, oh, you guys are so moody. Mm-hmm. It's like, bitch, if you were playing on our level, you'd be moody too.
Yeah,
Drop
seriously.
the mic, walk away.
Exactly.
That's all you need to know about that.
But the show did a great job with Lucy and Kevin, with everything that he said.
When?
With everything that Kevin had said to Simon at the table about moods, and seeing, I'm jumping ahead here, but whenever we see Lucy and Kevin at home, what he says, according to Lucy and Kevin's relationship, is 100% true.
Remind me again what gets said.
Which part?
With Lucy.
Oh, she gets all pissed about the ring.
Okay.
Savannah being at the hospital. Kevin doesn't tell her. She's angry.
Yeah. But then by the time he comes home, she's like over it.
She's over it. Oh, I'm also pregnant. And yeah, you were like just looking out for me. Did he do any of those things? Did he say any of these things?
Oh.
No, he didn't. You are apologizing for him yet again, and you were moody, quote unquote.
I know.
You saw her angry, and the moment he said that he's not going to take her on the ride on his way to Simon
because he needs alone time.
Yeah. And I see this like moment of like sadness. I'm like, why are you sad because Kevin's not going to take you? You were still upset at him when the ring was missing, whatever. But
not anymore though. See, okay. And I'm not trying to defend the bad writing of Lucy either, because like fuck Brenda and her like puritanical ideas about men and women and relationships and shit. But Lucy gets pissed because she doesn't know everything. Like, because she can tell that Kevin is keeping something from her and not being truthful to her.
Yeah.
And that pisses her off. And she says as much too to her dad when Eric's like, sometimes men keep things from their wives because we want to protect them. And she's like, yeah, and that pisses us off even more. And she's right.
It's
because,
true.
Like, who are you to decide what I need protecting from?
Yeah.
Like, you're my husband. Talk to me openly. Tell me the truth about everything that's going on in your life.
Exactly.
And then I'll decide how that affects me.
Yeah.
Because it's me being affected by it.
Exactly.
Like, don't call me moody just because you decided to not tell me something and then that pisses me off. Like, really, dude?
And then, and in the end, all is fine.
Because then once again she's put into a position, and I say she like all women are because we're level-headed normal people. Like all of a sudden she's pissed at him. She confronts him with her pissedness because she's like, what the fuck, where's this ring, that, you know, all this stuff that happened, right? And then he's like, and then he, on a completely separate train of thought, is like, I'm gonna go visit Simon. It has nothing to do with her or whatever. It's just he wants to go or he feels like he needs to go visit Simon. And so now she's like, okay, so like I can either be pissed and it's gonna only ruin my day, or I can get over it because at the end of the day everything was fine and everything was okay. And so for her own sanity, she decides to get over it. And again, she gets painted as moody and eccentric and shit. It's like, no, she had feelings. Sorry. She had feelings and she engaged in them. And then also was able to disengage from them. That's normal, dude. That's so fucking normal. I can't even tell you how normal that is. Like, this show is like at once hilarious and infuriating all at the same time.
Thank you.
I can't understand how they do it. In fact, maybe that's the greatest trick of all, is that they pulled that off. I don't know.
I like it.
I feel like I can see the levels on the recording and I'm like peaking every time I talk about women. I really didn't want to go there, but I'm glad I did. I'm glad we did. But so basically Kevin goes up there and tells him like, sack up, get over yourself, because this is life. And if you love her, marry her. And he's like, yeah, I do, whatever. I don't even know. It kind of like leaves it on like, well, no, it doesn't, because it ends with him
proposing.
Yeah. Oh God, in an Oreo.
Yeah.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't cry a little bit at that. He fucking calls her over and they're like making up, right? They're like reconciling and she, you know, whatever. And then he has a plate of Oreos and milk strategically laid out.
Do you have Oreos?
Me? Like me, lady?
Yeah, like right now.
I should have for us.
Like, do you have Oreos?
I'd be lying if I said all this Oreo talk didn't make me kind of crave one.
Just hearing them go, you're like, I want a cookie.
A little bit. Although, we'll
get there.
Pause, there. Let's finish Rose and Simon. Okay, so he's like, let's find out if we're gonna make this work and whatever. He grabs an Oreo off the pile and he's like, oh, you're a twist and dunk kind of gal, right?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. So she twists it, and then he had like stuffed the ring inside the cream of the Oreo, and like you know what I mean? Like, just it was in there. And so she's like, and then so he like proposes to her and she accepts again. And then I guess I never, like, did she buy him that ring? Like, cause when did he get that wedding ring for himself?
Oh, like
the one that's engraved.
Yeah. I don't know when she got that.
She must have gotten it for him.
Yeah. Yeah. She must have.
And that means that Annie shared the secret with her too.
Yeah.
That's not fair. She didn't share it with Sarah and Matt.
Only the girls knew.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's not fair that Rose gets to know that secret.
Well, she loves Rose now. They're besties.
Bar fell over me. Anyway, so that's how that story ends. Okay, so meanwhile, Annie is being the biggest badass.
I love her in this episode.
She's on fire in this episode, dude. Every time Annie was on screen, I was like, yes, queen. Like,
I curse you. Yeah.
So she's in the middle of trying to make this real estate deal happen, right?
Yes.
She's trying to buy this building that she's going to convert into a storefront / living quarters for the home for
unwed mothers,
whatever.
Homeless teens, whatever.
Yeah, the long name for the group. So she's in the battle with the lawyer of the person who owns the building because they had settled at 400, and that's how much she was going to pay, and
Yeah.
that's how much it was going to be. And then that guy found out they have cash.
Yeah.
And so now all of a sudden he wants more. He wants 450, whatever. And
Yeah.
she's like, no, not a penny more over 400.
Yeah.
That is what is happening. Like we agreed to this. And if he goes back on this, then I'm going to curse him.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden, this cursing business becomes this whole thing. Okay. I just don't even know what to say about it. I think Annie says it best when she says,
I have never heard of grown men being so afraid of a stupid curse. Like I could really put a curse on anybody. The whole thing is completely childish, and men are childish, which is why it's working.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
come on, dude.
Yes.
This motherfucker sends a priest to her house
Oh, father.
to get the curse off him.
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking kidding me with this shit?
It was so
it's
good.
Just something she said in the heat of the moment because she was upset.
Yeah.
You know? Like, come on, dude.
I cursed you.
And then when she mentions it to Lucy,
Yeah.
and Lucy's like cursing, and Annie's like, yeah, whatever, man. Like,
Yeah.
get over it. Like,
She's so good.
so Annie is talking to Lucy because Lucy has gone over to Annie to tell her all about the money that they're going to give to
Yeah.
Simon and all that. And once again, Annie displays her badassery.
Simon's feeling really, really pressured, and this is what Kevin and I want to do for him. I just thought you should know.
Well, you can change your minds.
We could, but I don't think so.
You know, I'm upset already about Matt and Sarah, eloping and then still having the big wedding, and I'm upset that Ruthie had to tell us, not Matt and Sarah, and I'm upset that she had to wait so long to tell us. So I could real easily be upset with you and Kevin.
I don't want you to be upset with Kevin and me, but we already decided to give him the money.
Well, why does everyone want to tell me things all of a sudden? Why are you telling me this?
I just wanted you to know why we're giving it to them now instead of later. Simon is taking incompletes in his classes because he's working too many hours and he doesn't have time to get to class and to study.
What? Okay, now I'm officially upset with 5 out of 7 of my children and a building owner. And if you don't leave, I might be more upset.
5 out of 7? Oh, what did Mary do?
I don't know, but I'm sure it was something, and I'm sure someone will tell me about it.
It's so good.
Poor Mary. Not again.
Annie is crushing it in
Yeah.
this scene.
Yeah.
No, I'm upset with 5 out of 7 of my children. And if you don't get out of this house right now, like, oh, she's so good. I love her so much.
I
She's
loved
goals.
her on the phone.
Oh, I know.
Once upon a time. So good.
Oh, because Eric's like, well, it's a long story.
She's like, once upon a time. I loved her so much.
Okay, so you're okay.
Well, I lost my temper when I found out that Simon dropped the classes.
Well, you can't afford to be angry. Let me be angry.
I don't think you can afford to be angry either. I think you're angry enough. I mean, you already put a curse on some poor guy you don't even know.
Why does everyone have a problem with that? You know what? Nobody can curse anyone. I can't curse anyone. I don't even know what it means to curse someone. The words just came out of my mouth. But evidently they're very powerful words.
Yes, they are. You wouldn't like it if somebody cursed you, would you?
You wouldn't like it if someone lectured you, would you? And how would you like it if I told you and Lucy that I can handle putting together a home for teen mothers without either of you commenting on how I'm doing it?
Hello?
Are you sure you're not having a heart attack? You're okay?
I'm sure. I'm fine.
Good. I love you,
I love you too.
but I'm still angry.
Oh, man.
She's a force. She's so much fun to watch.
Let me be angry, okay? Like,
Yes.
just the way she
You
delivers
can't
it.
afford to be angry. She's so great.
Like a little child, I can. It's so good.
She's so great. Like, honestly, watching Annie in this episode, I
Yeah.
had this moment where I was like, you know what? If I'm like her at her age, like, I've won.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, man.
I want to be, opinionated and wise and able to convey all my emotions and
Yeah.
all of my feelings and thoughts. Like, she's just great.
Yeah.
I love her so much.
I agree.
I also love that, especially in this episode, like, and maybe throughout maybe this whole season or whatever, Annie has very much been like, the gloves are off when it comes to Lucy and her holier than thou-ness.
Yeah.
Because like Lucy, ever since she became a mother, has like put on this persona of like somebody who's like trying to be level-headed and like just like her best self and shit, you know? And it's like, you can try to be that person, but don't try to do that with your own mother, woman.
Yeah.
Like, know your place. Like, Annie's not gonna tolerate that shit from you
not.
of all people. Like,
It's true.
like at some point in this episode, she's like, "Okay, Reverend King Kirk, tell me like how all about the curses and da da da." And it's like, that's right, Addie. Tell her you own her ass. Like you're her mom always. Like it's
true.
You know,
it's true.
Like she's never gonna be ahead of you. You know what I mean? It's funny. But yeah. So all that's going down at the end of the day. Or not at the end of the day, but after the priest has come to get this curse lifted, after several phone calls with the lawyer have been exchanged, finally the building owner himself
shows up
at the Camden's door, and he's a big sort of lumbering sort of man, who appears to be a total softie because he's all like Catholic and like super superstitious and whatever, and like terrified of this curse that Annie's put on him. And so when he comes over, Annie like runs and hides.
She does
so great.
She just like goes where all the kids are hiding
into the
when
stairwell. And so Eric talks to him, and we learn that the man can drink a lot of milk.
Dude, he really can.
That's one of the things we learn about him. We also learn that his dad died when he was very young and left him quite a considerable amount of money in the form of 37 buildings around town.
Yep.
And, you know, that building in particular, the one that Annie's trying to buy, is the building that he grew up in, and that his mom never really wanted to reno or whatever, because there was like this sentimental attachment to it, and for him as well, and so that's why he's like not ready to part with it, you know, so easily or whatever, because he has like, you know, that building means something to him. And so Eric starts telling him about, well, that's so great because it means something to my wife too, and she wants to do something meaningful with this building too. Like, you know, we want to make it into a home for da 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 da. And that's when like Annie comes out of her shell a little bit and is like, I mean, yeah, mister, you know, like she's like, I'm sorry that I cursed you. I really doesn't mean anything. And like, you know, we're trying to do something special here. And, you know, we don't have a ton of money and, you know, whatever. And so finally, at the end, the guy's like, just take it, consider it. He goes, I'll make it a write-off. Don't even worry about it. It'll be fine. Like he realizes like, it's for a good cause and whatever, and so, and it's not like he needs the money, god damn it.
Yeah, clearly.
So so she lets him, or he lets her have it essentially. Yeah. And she's like, God bless you, you know, whatever. I don't even, Mr. Riley, I think was his name.
Something like that, yeah.
God bless you, Mr. Riley. And like with like tears in her eyes. But I swear to God, how many Oreos and milk does that man eat? I couldn't do it. His like labored breathing and the crunch of the food and the milk in his mouth. I was like, this is the worst ASMR ever.
You guys did this so many times. You guys did this in the last episode where everything, just lower the mic, something.
Just don't have them be eating on camera, bro.
Or that.
Or talking with their mouths full. In the last episode, it was like all of that. In this episode, there wasn't as much of that, if any of it really happening. But then this motherfucker comes in. Yeah. And he, like, you guys, we're not kidding. He pours himself a glass of milk.
You hear it.
Drops the Oreo in there.
You see that.
Downs the glass of milk in one shot. And then digs in for the cookie and eats that whole.
Yep.
Like shoves the whole thing in his mouth and is like chomping on it while he's like hardly able to breathe.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
That's how Ma used to do it. I'm like,
oh my God. It was so gross.
Yeah.
It was so gross.
Yeah.
It was worse than when Mike was having that weird breathing attack while crying and trying to talk. Remember? Yeah. This was worse for me than that was. And that's saying something.
I hate hearing people eat. I hate chewing. That really bothers me.
Yeah. I think that annoys me less than the sound of labored breathing.
That actually scares me. It gives me anxiety.
Like, it was just like, I was like, enough of this. Like, like who edited this episode? Like, come on, people. Like, we don't need this. It's unnecessary. And we also didn't have to watch him eat and drink like 3 cups of fucking milk.
Dude.
Like he's busy trying to have a heart to heart moment with Annie over this building while he's like chomping down on cookies. Like, Jesus Christ, it was so gross.
So gross. It was, though.
So gross. And mind you, okay, so at several points in this episode, when I think Ruthie did it, Lucy did it, Simon did it, when they realized that like secrets have been told to the twins because of cookies and milk. Like, stop saying cookies and milk like it's a thing.
Yeah.
Like,
cookies and milk.
It's not a thing that people know about, that you spill your shit when you have cookies and milk. Like, what?
I'm going to test that theory. Invite people over.
Sam and David.
Yeah. And have a conversation. Maybe they're
Make sure it's in a mini fridge in your room.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, they keep saying it like, oh yeah, cookies and milk. We should have known. Like, known what?
Yeah, and don't they kind of bring that up between Annie and Ruthie? Like that's how Ruthie knows Eric's secret about the ring. Like,
no, what?
When the twins or Eric finally confess to Ruthie about Eric's secret about him losing the wedding ring. I can't remember this, and maybe I'm wrong, but did Ruthie say, "Oh yeah, we know that story. Mom told us," and like, did she say like she told us like, were they also having milk and cookies?
Oh, they might have. See, I didn't catch that. I didn't catch it. But yeah,
so
because what happens is the twins come to Ruthie and they're like, we have to tell Mom Dad's secret because it's gonna eat us up inside.
Yeah.
And Ruthie's like, trust me, Mom is the last person you want to get on the bad side of today, or whatever. So she's like, okay, let's like tell me and I'll decide kind of the best way. And so they tell her and she's like, oh, that's not a big deal. We've known about that.
Yeah.
Like, Mom knows. And that's when Eric has to be all like, wait, she knows? And it's actually a really cute thing. I liked this whole little story of theirs because what happened is, we know the story, right? He lost his ring pretty much like the day they got married or whatever.
Yeah.
He went on that trip. So then he found a pawn shop where he could buy a replacement. And then, and Annie never found out. Well, we learn that shortly after he lost it, the hotel he lost it at mailed the ring to them.
Yeah.
And so Annie knew within a week that he had lost his ring, but yet he was wearing one. So she was like, okay. And apparently he left it on the sink one day because he does that when he's washing his hands, he takes it off. So then she picked it up and saw that it had been like engraved. And so she's like, okay. So then she decided to like keep Eric's secret, I guess, essentially.
Yeah, basically.
And so engraved his real one with the same message and then switched them so that he'd be wearing his real ring.
Yeah.
But at least it would look like the ring that he bought, so he wouldn't know that she knew the secret that he had lost it and da-da-da-da-da.
So much scheming.
But joke's on Annie because he didn't even know it was engraved.
Yeah.
He had no clue. He just thought he bought a ring. And, you know, and then so she's like, why, you know, weren't you confused that you were able to get a replacement for so cheap? And he's like, I don't know. The guy felt sorry for me.
She's like, no,
it was a ring he couldn't sell, so he sold it to you. Like, and so, I mean, it's really sweet. And so the engraving says, you bring out the best in me, or best of me. I think it's best in me. And so, and then she had told all her daughters that same secret.
Yeah.
And so Mary had Carlos's engraved that way, and so did Lucy with Kevin's. That way they would always know if their husbands lost their rings because it wouldn't be engraved, you know, whatever, which is really sweet. And so, and then so cut to, we see Rose has engraved Simons with the same message.
Yeah.
And it's a little weird because 1, when did she get that ring?
Yeah.
2, when did she get it engraved? And 3, when did Annie tell her that secret of hers?
Yeah.
You know? The best kept secret in Camden history. How many years did they say they've kept that secret? 30?
30 years or
something like
something.
that? Yeah. Crazy.
25, maybe? Because we forget Matt isn't that old.
That's true.
They're
Well,
still
but
in
he's
their
not-
mid-20s.
Yeah, that's right.
They're like 24, 25
That's right.
maybe.
That's
Wow.
right. No, he's much older than that. Lucy's 23,
Lucy's 23.
which means Mary's 25, which means Matt's 27.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
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 Wrapped in plastic. Yeah. I don't know, man. This episode.
Well, I mean, I can. Yeah.
Let's get into our ratings for it.
Thumb up, thumb down. Mm-hmm. Yeah, thumb up, thumb down. Some stuff were meh, but like, you know, it was entertaining. It was definitely entertaining.
It was entertaining.
But I just can't give it a full 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know what it is. I mean, I do know what it is. It's shit like the unnecessary patriarchal anti-women conversation, the insanity of Rose not knowing that Simon blamed her
Yeah.
for the incompletes in college.
Exactly.
The way that cookies and milk are just like touted as if it's a real thing. And also what we didn't talk about, the insane fucking Oreo commercial that takes place for a random 2 minutes in the middle of this episode.
Don't you dunk?
Oh, yeah.
Nah, I like the cookies separate from the milk. I'm a purist.
You know, I used to be a twist and lick. Now I'm a dunker. My whole family are dunkers. Except for Sam and David. I guess I'll grow into it.
Lucy dunks in front of the family. When she's with me, she twists and scrapes the filling off with her finger and then dunks just the outside.
No kidding.
No kidding. I think it's time for me to go home. We should be having cookies with our brides.
What?
Yeah.
What? This conversation has no place in any part of any episode of any television show in the history of television.
You know, it's how
shows.
brothers talk.
Don't you dunk? He's incredulous. Aren't you a dunker?
Yeah.
Though we're all dunkers, except Sam and David. Oh, I guess they'll grow into it. What conversation is this? It's the most inane conversation that has ever occurred.
Well, welcome to the Camden family.
God damn it. And then Lucy? Is that how Lucy eats a fucking Oreo? She twists it and then licks the thing off with her finger.
Yeah.
The cream off with her finger and then dunks the cookie part. Like, ew. And then we see her do it at the end.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even do it in a clean way. Like, the part that pisses me off about it is like, I have nails, she has nails, right? You can't do anything with your finger anymore once
Yeah.
you have nails. The best you can do is scrape with the side of your finger.
Yeah.
Like, she can go like this or it's such a visual thing, but she could scrape using the side of her finger.
Yeah.
She can't scrape using the front of her finger because it's gonna get stuck in her nail, and it
Yeah.
does, and she
Yeah.
just licks it anyway. And I'm like, God damn it, Lucy.
Doesn't have a choice.
Get yourself together, woman.
Will. She's not a dunker.
So annoying.
She's just not a dunker.
I mean, except in front of her family.
Yeah. she, you know, she can't hurt their feelings.
What the fuck?
Why?
I don't know. It's the most inane conversation. I can't even handle it.
We're gonna have to go get some Oreos.
I know, right? just so we could dunk them in our various ways.
Seriously.
And then, mind you, Rose is a twist and dunk. Does that mean that she's dunking the cream side
Yeah.
exposed into the milk? Ew. Ew. That's so gross.
Man.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, so how do you eat Oreo?
I don't know. I haven't eaten one in so long.
know.
But I feel like I twist, lick, and then I might just throw the cookie away, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a dunker because I don't drink milk.
Yeah. Same.
I'm kind of like Kevin in that way. Like, I could see eating a cookie and then just maybe having a glass of water afterwards to like wash it down or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to dunk them to enjoy them.
Yeah, it's weird. This idea of like milk and cookies.
Barf.
I could never finish the milk. Like, it's good for a second, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I can't.
I mean,
Just give me the cookie.
In a way, maybe what's his name, Mr. Riley's onto something, because he literally like throws it in the milk, and it only has like a second to get soggy because he's downing that milk right away. You know,
That's actually
maybe that's not the worst way, but you must really like milk if you're gonna do it that way. Like, otherwise, I mean, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna throw it in water and then down the water? Like, no, it has to be milk. Which, like, blah. Yeah.
no.
God damn it! Oreo must have paid $1 billion trillion for this much product placement in 2 episodes.
Yeah. No
Like,
Chips Ahoy.
fucking A. It's like that. It's wall to wall Oreos for 2 episodes of this show. God damn.
All right. Bye, Oreos.
Bye, Oreos. Never again, please. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
I mean, I don't even know if I said my official rating, but I agree that this is a thumb up, thumb down.
Cool.
It's just fine.
That's fine. Exactly. Nothing wow except Annie, but you know, she's always wow.
Annie's wow. Yeah. Essentially, that's the reason it gets the thumb up is Annie's badassery. Like, everything else is just like, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Thanks for listening, everyone. That's going to do it for us. As always, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. You can find us on social media at the number For Heaven's Sake Pod. Send us an email at forheavensakeshow@gmail.com. Or if you're so inclined, you can head over to patreon.com/the number For Heaven's Sake Pod, where you can subscribe to one of 2 tiers, either the Keep the Lights On tier or the Heaven Head Special tier. And until next time, bye.
Bye.